Eldorado.
I think they're overthinking it. Just give it to Gentry, let him run.
You know, the guy is so tall at 6'7". When you need 3 yards and 4 downs, you just got to hope he falls forward 1.5 times and you're in there, right?
Gentry to toss it again, and he's got his man, and it's caught. Zach May, touchdown.
Again, not to belittle it, but boy, I'll tell you, the drop touchdown pass early in this game is liable to really loom huge here in the next ensuing half hour, because they're going to close it to a 2-score game now. And again, you know, everybody loves to go back and say what if, but with a wide open touchdown on the table that they were not able to convert, would have been a little bit tidier approach for Eldorado.
I'll tell you what, there's plenty of time on that clock. Eldorado's defense just needs to step up with 4:57 to go in the third quarter.
Well, that long drive took all of 2 minutes and 3 seconds. So that's just what Eldorado needed.
Andrew Shelley will step back for the extra point. The official's discussing something on the far side of the field. Still can't figure it out.
Well, they're going to slow it down here and talk about it. The white hat has got to have some kind of clarification. So they're going to come talk to the Rio Rancho coach about something. And Coach Howes is definitely going to say, we didn't do it.
New score at Wilson Stadium with 7.5 minutes to go in the game. La Cueva 20, Mayfield 17.
Well, that game on Channel 27 and ProVNetworks.com, the other semifinal coming down to the wire, about 7 minutes to go, and it's still a 20-17 lead for La Cueva.
5 minutes and 7 seconds.
Meanwhile, back at the Rio Rancho Ranch, 35-20, extra point looming. Kick is up.
Up and through. So 36-20, the Rio Rancho Rams lead. Eldorado gets on the board. You're watching U Sports Network, powered by Pro Networks.
Rio Rancho 36, Eldorado 21.
Yeah, Rams! Yeah, Rams! Go Rams!
Visit Cool Springs Trampoline Park at 4320 Yale Boulevard Northeast for any event. Family night, birthday party, unique date, team celebrations, or just friends, exercise, and fun. Cool Springs Trampoline Park is a locally owned Albuquerque family business. 18,000 square feet of fun, including dodgeball, basketball dunk, platforms, and foam pits. Jump on in 7 days a week. Call 345-JUMP or go to CoolSprings.com. That's Cool Springs with a Z.
That was the answer.
That was the answer, and they needed it. 6A semifinal. Adam Deal along with Hy Roberts. Eldorado gets on the board. A little over 2 minutes to drive. And this time Zach Gentry finds Zach May for 6 in the extra point. So still a 2-score game. It's well within reach, Hy.
Good news is Eldorado just found a pint of O positive. The bad news is they still are 2 pints low.
I don't know what to make of that. Here's the kick, and Angelo Lujan with tons of speed. Gonna get a cut, and look out! He's off to the races. Angelo Lujan gets a block, the 40, a cut at the 30, and pushed out of bounds at the 23-yard line. And what a fantastic block he got in front of him. Well, there is a flag down over way back at the 35-yard line.
I didn't see that one back there on the 35. I saw a great block by somebody at the 50. But I didn't see anything back there on the 35. Could that have been the back judge that actually flew it all the way back there? Because it looked like he had his head in front of the block, but maybe not.
Well, if it was from the block at the 50, they got it wrong. It had to have been a hold or something before that.
Well, that's not your job to officiate the game.
Sure
I've been told. It is? Okay. All right. Well, then let it rip. I'm going to tell you what, though. If you're an Eldorado Eagles fan, this is absolutely a gigantic call.
It was a hold in the back, so it was not the block at the 50, and that's why there was a big hole for Angelo Lujan.
Well, we had a little push in the back there, and from a field possession perspective, that's about, what is that, Adam Deal? About a 55-yard penalty?
Yep.
That is a spot
Time and
foul
distance is critical.
at the 35-yard line.
Now
It's
a 3 and out.
yeah.
Plenty, as we talk about, there's plenty of time.
10 yards.
If Eldorado can find a way for a 3 and out, and then another Adam Deal ProView Network's answer of the night, then we really do have a football game.
Should we get that sponsored? The answer of the night?
Absolutely.
Okay. 4:55 in this third
The only
quarter.
thing that remains to be seen is whether Eldorado can find the answer, but they're going to need one.
Well, it's going to start on this defensive possession. Maybe a mandatory.
Well, got a lot of room there. Linebackers are a little bit closer than they have been.
Matt Jackson out of the backfield has some room across the 30 and powers his way out across the 32-yard line.
Now that's a running back just flat laying the wood on a defensive player right there. That's what we call an owie. That hurt, and the Rio Rancho staff is over trying to take care of that young man. I think it was number 8.
It was Nate Garley, and Matt Jackson put a hurt on him, and I think he might have came down wrong coming out of bounds.
I don't know. From where I'm watching, it looked like he got hit in the head pretty hard while he was in the air. That was quite a collision, especially from an offensive player laying the wood to a defensive. He got hit hard.
Well,
You could hear
Matt
it.
Jackson comes up to him and gives him a little high five. That's always
Yeah,
nice to see.
we're behind the glass, and we could even hear that one. That was maybe the hit of the evening so far.
And it was delivered by the offensive player.
Yes, very, very unusual. It's been a well-played game at times, certainly by Rio Rancho. Spotty for Eldorado, but it's not necessarily, nobody's accused this game of being a real hard-hitting game, but that was a darn sure hard-hitting play.
Well, the Barley Room is your local sports bar for Saturday and Sunday football. Also, to cater your next event, please call 505-492-8259. The Barley Room.
Nope, good to see him up.
Nate Garley is up.
No, I think he's got, actually, even though the hit looked pretty ferocious, I think he's got a flat tire on the right side. Looks like he's got a right foot or a right ankle thing going, which is, you never like to see that, especially if it turns out to be his last game of the year.
Here's a little news for you, Hi Roberts.
Yes, sir.
The La Cueva Bears have just picked off Mayfield with 4:39 to go. That stops their drive, so they lead it 20-17. Can Brandon, back in his second year, will that team and coach him to the championship?
With that running attack and that quarterback, I think the answer to the question is affirmative. I think he's been dreaming about this upcoming drive probably since 4th of July.
We'll keep you updated. Remember, that is on Channel 27 of your U Sports Network Comcast box, also on ProViewNetworks.com. 4:49 to play here in this third quarter. And the Rams will face a 2nd down and 3 after Matt Jackson's hard-hitting 7-yard run.
So this is the stocking stuffer. This is it for Eldorado. This is on their Christmas list right now. They need a 3 and out. It's time. Easton taking plenty of time looking at all
Still
over here.
13 on the play clock as he picks it apart. And early movement.
Oh, we had a little flinch.
Matt Jackson pads his chest and says, "That's my bad. It's a false start, the first on the Rio Rancho Rams."
Looked like somebody just didn't like the play, or maybe the play didn't come in quite as orderly and tidy as it normally does, because they looked just a little out of sorts there. And for Eldorado, backing them up, making this 2nd and 8 is a good thing. Rio Rancho not shaken by the 5 yards for sure.
Just gives Brewer extra room to work with. 2nd down and 8 as Jackson is in motion. He'll take the direct snap, and he's got some room in front of him. Jackson cuts to the outside, and it's a 1st down. He picks up 10 yards up to the 37.
Nice play. Fast developing. Barreras took that ball in full stride, turned the corner, and just when Eldorado thought they were maybe going to put a dent in this thing, it's going to be 1st down.
It's a 1st down.
Yep.
Think about all of the guys we mentioned for Rio Rancho. It's just a ton of them. It's not just one guy. You got Brady Patterson, Miguel Barreras, Marky Alvarado, Angelo Lujan, Matt Jackson. They're all getting involved in this offense for Eastern Barrera.
Charlie Dodson mentioned that he had fear of 5 really, really fast offensive players on the Rio Rancho side of the ball, and his fear is well-founded, because these kids execute, and they are fast to the ball. When they get it, they go.
Easton with the pump, and he'll fire down the middle, and it's Brady Patterson. Brady Patterson makes a cut. Another cut at the 40, gets a block at the 35, and he's running to the 25-20 and shoved out of bounds at the 15-yard line. The Rams rolling, and Brady Patterson has got the wheels and the jukes.
What a nice run. 3 different cuts in one run, and what was that, 50 yards?
Too much for me. It was a long play.
It's absolutely a long play.
We don't have a spotter.
And not, no, tic-tac-toe dumped us. He's in the back row. He's just having too much fun. But Eldorado now officially in trouble again.
They have to stop him here.
Yeah, they really do.
First down and 15.
A field goal makes it a 3-score game, and that might be too many.
Actually, 4 wideouts on the far side as Easton is in trouble, fires, and there could be a hold, and indeed there was.
Boy, it's too bad because he didn't need the hold either.
He did.
Eldorado finally got a little pressure on Easton. Easton, one thing to give him credit for, he throws that ball. When he misses, he's long to where nobody catches it. And again, it's how many touchdown passes does he have tonight?
He's got 2 touchdown passes.
So he's 44-2 is his ratio because he's not thrown a pick tonight.
There you go.
And the way he's thrown it, he's probably not going to.
And if you're watching this as a college coach, how do you not look at Easton Brewer as your next quarterback?
You know, I'm impressed by his physical play, but I think I might be more impressed with his mental approach. He doesn't get rattled. Eldorado has tried to speed him up a few times, and he throws it away, but he just has not made it. Thus far, he just hadn't made any mistakes.
First down and 3.
And this is the biggest game he's played in.
Right. He's been solid thus far. First and 3 from the 7-yard line. Again, a 4 wide out spread to the far side. A quick catch by Lujan. Gets to the outside, and he's in. Just too much speed all the way. Got a nice block to seal the edge, and it's his second touchdown of the night.
We talked about speed kills in the pregame, and we're seeing it right now because this Rio Rancho bunch has really got the foot speed.
2 minutes off the clock. They're just trading 2-minute drives, and if you're Coach Dotson, you can't do that. It was the 3rd touchdown from Angelo Lujan tonight. He's ran for 2 and now caught 1.
Wow. He's having a big night.
So John Finnegan will come on to add an extra point. He's been busy tonight with 3 field goals and a whole lot of extra points, and that being one of them.
He's
up and through.
He's having a big night. Probably have to ice that toe down for next week if they continue, but he's having a big night.
43-21, the Rams lead. The Eagles will step aside. You're watching U Sports Network, powered by Pro Networks.
Whatever your dream, a tranquil backyard retreat, the perfect yard for the kids, or professional maintenance for your corporate campus, the Grounds Guys will help you achieve it. Our established systems allow us to deliver industry-leading lawn care and landscape solutions to commercial and residential customers. Experience our difference with a 3-hour callback guarantee, clean, shiny trucks, friendly, uniformed personnel, state-of-the-art equipment sharpened daily, and quality control reports delivered monthly.
This 6A semifinal is brought to you by Saggio's Restaurant and Pizzeria, by Fastino's Italian Bistro, New Mexico Department of Tourism, and Essence Spa and Nails, all great supporters of New Mexico athletics here on U Sports Network, powered by Pro Networks. I'm Adam Dill along with Hy Roberts, live from Rio Rancho High School. The Rams get on the board again. Angelo Lujan catches a pass. Easton Guerrero's 3rd touchdown pass. Angelo Lujan's 3rd touchdown. And the Rams in cruise control, 43-21 high.
Yeah, if you're Eldorado, it's dig deep time. Kick goes out of bounds, so they'll have pretty good field position, but there's just, even though all of these drives are very quick and they're taking 2 minutes, those 2-minute drives are going to take their toll. And Eldorado, again, we've been talking about it in real time, about 20 minutes, but they've just got to answer with a touchdown, another one of those 2-minute drives. And they have to find a way to speed the game up for Easton, or it's not going to end well.
Well, 1 minute is left over at Wilson Stadium, and Mayfield has just taken the lead 24-20. So the Bears have a minute to try to get in the end zone, or it will most likely be Mayfield and the winner of this one. And looking like the Rams so far. As Gentry out of the gun will fire, and that's complete. A slip at the 50 up to the 45, and the ball was loose, but not before David Inman was on the ground.
Player down by contact.
Zach Gentry's pass is complete to number 24, David Inman.
Good news for Eldorado is they got all that yardage in just a few seconds, but they're going to have to just do that over and over and over again.
3 wideouts here on the near side. As Gentry being chased from behind, and he's sacked. And coming through untouched on the blitz was Santiago Salazar, the junior.
And 32 had a little sharing with Zach as he got up and walked past him. Would love to know what he said to him, but maybe the sequel is coming.
So Gentry out of the pistol, again under pressure. That's knocked away. And it's picked. Intercepted. It was knocked and picked off. And the Rams now have the ball. It was Josh Garule who came out with an, it was Anthony Nolan, the linebacker, who just had some words to say. And he answers it with a big-time play.
That was a big-time play. And again, Eldorado could ill afford anything other than a touchdown on that drive, but to put Rio Rancho in business at the 50-yard line, 3:35 left to go in the third period was not the plan. The Rio
Deflating,
Rancho,
you could just feel it for that Eldorado sideline.
I think we may look back later and realize that the deflation actually took place way before now.
Gentry's going to hand off to Matt Jackson through the middle, and he broke a couple tackles as he gets up to the 42-yard line.
Tackled on the play by Chandler Holton and Dominic Sandoval of the Eagles. Pick up of 8 yards.
Rio Rancho's making this easier than it's supposed to be in a semifinal football game. That I will assure you. They are playing, I won't say they're playing above themselves because they haven't lost a game this year, but they're playing a near-perfect game tonight against a very good Eldorado team, and they're making Eldorado look anything but special tonight.
Here's a pitch. Again, it's Matt Jackson, and Jackson gets across the 40 for a first down up to the 37-yard line. This game was built up to be the game of the year high, and the Rio Rancho Rams are just dominating.
Well, you know, we got an Eldorado defense that's just tired, and even though we've had a lot of short drives, they've been successful, and that's deflating in its own nature. But Eldorado defense has been on the field quite a while now. That quick turnover and the pick by number 32 and flipping the field, and Eldorado really hadn't even caught their breath from the last drive was not what they needed. They're playing about a step slow here.
Well, 2:30 on the clock here in the third quarter. Barrera's going to fire. Chased out of the pocket. Now will run. Easton's got a little bit of wheels, and he'll slide. Stays in bounds to keep that clock rolling. Just a smart, heady play by the senior.
Just couldn't find anything downfield. Coverage was there, so he took off with it, and the corner was wide open. And again, being heads up and a smart ball player, he just took a seat. And we got the tick-tock going down to 2 minutes, third quarter. Eldorado officially in real trouble here.
Who would have known we would be saying that in the third quarter?
Coach
House?
Probably, yeah. I think he maybe had this one figured out. He's got a real good football team playing good football tonight.
Well, here's the toss by Brady Patterson, and he's going to throw it on a flea flicker, and it's caught. Dives into the end zone. Touchdown.
That is
Jacob Perez.
That is salt in the wound right there, I'll tell you. That's a great play, the first real trickery we've seen by Rio Rancho tonight, and it worked. But I don't think much has not worked for Rio Rancho tonight.
Well, Patterson has caught a touchdown and now thrown for a touchdown, and Rio Rancho's really knocked the wheels off of this one on top 49-21.
You know, we talked about it earlier, but when Eldorado got to the point where they came out in the second half in pretty much a must-pass situation, it's just so easy for those Rio Rancho linebackers to get aggressive and start tipping things and knocking passes down and making quick tackles. And this game has the feeling, even though we've still got a lot of time on the clock, we've still got a minute and a half in the third quarter and the whole fourth quarter in front of us. The crowd is acting like we're at the end of the fourth quarter. Some of the Rio Rancho faithful are actually starting to think about going and warming up their cars. And the Eldorado fans, unfortunately, are those that the wind chill has gotten to are starting to file out.
The Rams in full control. There's no doubt about that one.
Decisive comes to mind, Adam. Rio Rancho just has been decisive. Execution all the way up to that trick play that certainly wasn't needed, but might be a little foreshadowing for somebody next week just to let them know that that's in the book.
Well, we're waiting on a final score for the Mayfield-La Cueva game. We know that Mayfield had taken the lead 24-20 with not a lot of time left for La Cueva. They would need a lot of luck.
Not sure what happened there. Last report we heard, La Cueva had the lead, had the ball with 4.5 minutes to go. So I'm not sure if that was a 3-and-out or a turnover. But whatever it wasn't what La Cueva was after.
Zach May will return this across the 32-33-yard line. We do know if Mayfield does beat La Cueva and Rio Rancho hangs on to this hefty lead, it will be here at Rio Rancho High School, the championship.
As probably it should be. Because if they finish this game off, and by all indications they probably will, they would be 12-0, and it would probably be fitting that they be here one more time.
Also, if La Cueva were to come back and beat Mayfield, then yeah, it would be here at Rio Rancho as well. The only chance it would be at Wilson is if Eldorado comes back, and it would be a mighty comeback for Zach Gentry and crew.
Yeah, this is not a ditch witch hole. This is a big caterpillar hole. I mean, this is a heavy equipment hole. I can't even tell you how dark this hole is down there because there's no light where they are. But all they can do is just stick to their guns, try to execute, run their offense one play at a time, and try to have a successful drive. There's a pitch to the outside, and he's gone.
Makes a cut and look out. The sophomore's off to the races to the 20, 15, 10, and into the end zone. And that was a quick strike by Eldorado.
So what that is that's a nice young running back who was outrunning the Eldorado fans that are heading for the exit saying, where in the world are you guys going? Nice run. Well, little life coming back on the other side of the field right now. And again, it's a really dark hole they're in, but one play at a time, maybe they can dig their way out.
Final score update from Wilson. It is all said and done after a Bo Kuyath fumble. The Mayfield Trojans have defeated the La Cueva Bears 24-20 in the other 6A semifinal. So the Trojans are into the state championship, and they'll play the winner of this. And, well, I mean, Eldorado with a quick strike like that, who knows high. We still got a lot of time to go in this one.
I think there'd have to be some Rio Rancho mistakes for Eldorado to truly get back in this game. I think there's going to have to be some turnovers. Now anything's possible, including onside kicks. All 4 downs necessary from here.
50-28 high. The score will step aside. You're watching U Sports Network, powered by Privy Networks.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant. Sandoval with a 62-yard touchdown run. The sophomore
makes it 50-28. Adam Deal along with Hy Roberts. You're watching the 6A semifinals. We know the winner of this will take on Mayfield, who's defeated La Cueva at Wilson Stadium 24-20 and come from behind fashion. What a fantastic season, though, that Brandon Back and the La Cueva Bears put together this year. No one expected what they did, Hy, as here's a squib kick. And it's dangerous. Just jumped on top to it at the 25.
Almost worked. Yeah, very nicely done. Well executed, and just didn't quite work. Yeah, back to La Cueva. Nobody anticipated that, especially after last year, 3-7. And to come back and
missed the playoffs for the first time ever.
And to come back and be in the semis and be one fumble away from playing for all the marbles, that's an awfully good year.
There's a ton of time. I mean, I know it's a 3-score game, but we're still in the third quarter here.
Well, I tell you, the one thing that Eldorado does have in their favor is Rio Rancho is not known for long drives. They don't particularly feature running the ball real well, and that translates into good clock management for Eldorado. Because if they can get a 3-and-out here, there is hope. But Rio Rancho, again, has just played near perfect up until now.
Easton takes it and fires, and it's caught, and there's some room as Marky Alvarado makes the turn. A stiff arm, a cut to the far side, and he's got a blocker in front of him. Up to the 30, to the 25, 20, 15, and finally shoved out. It'll be first and goal at the 10.
Credit where it's due. This Rio Rancho bunch knows exactly who they are. A lot of people would have said, nah, let's go ahead and run this thing and let's try to shorten this game up a little bit, but not the Rio Rancho Rams. They're doing what brung them to the party, if you will, and they're in the red zone deep in one play. And it's because they know who they are, and they executed very nearly every play.
Out of bounds right at the 10. At the 11, actually, is where they're going to call them. Nope, it's the 10. So it's first down and goal here for the Rams as they'll eat some clock here in the third quarter, 40 seconds left. The Rams scoring at will. Matt Jackson is in motion, and he'll get the pitch, and he's off to the races and lowers his shoulder at the 10 to the 8.
A rare run by Rio Rancho. I have to believe the ratio's got to be 3-1 balls in the air from Easton, as opposed to, we got some laundry.
Flag's going to fly. This is the latest flag you'll ever see. That'll be interesting. And a personal foul against the Rams. No, holding against the Rams. That is pretty late. It's pretty late for a hold.
Yes. I just thought I was looking the wrong place when it showed up. I thought it had been there for a little while, but one of the few mistakes by Rio Rancho, and the good news for Rio Rancho fans is they get to run that play again, 1st and 20 with a huge lead. This will, in all likelihood, be the last play of the third quarter.
Well, the Rams have first and goal from the 20-yard line.
Even they might run it here, just to shorten the quarter. Nope.
Bruer's going to fire, and it's picked! Intercepted! Just the third on the year for Patterson, and life to the Eagles.
Greed is such an evil thing when it does not work.
What do you think about that?
Well, we just saw the previous drive, a wild, exotic, as I like to call it, touchdown pass. There they were a little bit more of a traditional, but they were very greedy because, as I said, they could have just run anything simple and
well, field goal would have done just nicely.
Yeah, they would have had second and something, but it would be the beginning of the fourth quarter. Now there's no points and a little pulse back on the Eldorado sideline. Let's see if Gentry can be Zach Gentry.
What an interception. Timely one. Gentry's going to quarterback keep it, and he goes nowhere.
That play's not happening. All that does is finish the third quarter, but if they're going to get back in the game, this is going to be an aerial show now.
Well, they have to go quick if they want to finish this quarter out with a play, and they won't. So we'll head to the fourth quarter with the Rams leading it 50-28. Eldorado with a bit of life. We'll be back. You're watching New Sports Network, powered by Pro Numbers.
Streamline Swimming is New Mexico's premier swim store featuring the latest in training equipment and competitive swimming apparel. Whether you're looking for swimwear to lounge by the pool or something more professional, Streamline has it. With main brands such as Speedo, Nike, TYR, and Dolphin, you can be sure to find what you are looking for. And even if swimming is not your thing, Streamline provides uniforms for any sport you need. With No job too small and no setup fees, you can outfit your team with the best screen-printed and embroidery design uniforms. And with a friendly staff on site, our employees are always willing to help. Come and visit Streamline Swim Store and Streamline Athletics. Call us at 505-503-7460 or visit us at 6901 Gruber Avenue, Northeast.
We'll welcome you back to Rio Rancho High School, where the Eldorado Eagles just get a turnover, a crucial turnover. Scores down, but with Gentry and crew, they can move it. There's no doubt about it. As the Rio Rancho Rams lead it 50-28 here in the 6A semifinal. Winner takes on Mayfield, who just knocked off La Cueva in a tight one, 24-20 from Wilson. I'm Adam Deal along with Ty Roberts. You're watching U Sports Network, powered by Provi Networks. Second down and 10. Gentry's going to keep and fights through it. Able to get some positive yards. It looks like he was going to lose a couple. It'll be third down and about 8, though, here.
Picks up a couple yards on the play.
Excuse me, third and 6.
At the 23-yard
Now the the Eldorado biggest enemy is the clock.
They've got to get some strikes here. Sandoval is in motion to the outside, one-on-one coverage as Zach Gentry will fire, and it's incomplete. It's a fumble, actually, and it's tossed. I believe that's a live ball, and now it's incomplete. It's got to be a fumble.
Just a weird play,
wasn't it?
Well, it looked like, I think it was a lateral, but
he was behind Zach Main. Zach Main was going to try to throw it to Sandoval.
I think that Zach one-hopped it, and then there was a wounded duck. I don't know. That was a little over my head.
Right. I don't think that's not how they drew it up.
No. Well, what we do know is it didn't work.
Eldorado's going to go for it high on fourth down and 6 here.
As they probably should.
The Ram faithful on their feet. Gentry will roll. Fires, one-on-one coverage on the side, and it's caught.
Oh, my goodness.
And he's going to score all the way. Touchdown, Eldorado. Tanner Holton.
Little contact in there, but no flag pulled. And here we go.
Tanner Holton.
2.5 hours into a game has got a lot of football left.
Well, I'll tell you what. This is a game now. All of a sudden, 4th and 6. And Gentry basically throws up a prayer, and it was answered.
Well, it was a pretty good trajectory prayer, I'll tell you. I'm pretty sure he was aiming at that guy in the white jersey, and boy, he pulled it in, and maybe, I'm not sure if anybody pushed off on anybody, but there was just enough separation for him to break away and score the touchdown.
Well, don't go anywhere. We've got a game all of a sudden. It's a 2-possession game as Andrew Shelley is up and through 50-35. The score, 11:04 to play. You're watching U Sports Network, powered by Provi Networks.
50, Eldorado 35.
Don't sacrifice quality or flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride delivers the best tasting barbecue chicken and ribs with the fastest drive-thru in the whole city. Plus, Albuquerque Magazine has awarded Golden Pride for having the best tasting breakfast burrito in town. For a great meal without the wait, come see us at any one of our 4 locations or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride, home of Albuquerque's #1 breakfast burrito.
Network, U Sports Network, powered by Provi Networks. Adam Gill along with Ty Roberts. 50-35. Well, if you're an Eldorado fan and you've left and you're listening on the radio, come back. Come back to the stadium, because Eldorado, just like that, on 4th and 6, Tanner Holtman was able to score a touchdown.
It's a little chilly out there,
76
and
yards.
that 4th and 6, 76-yard touchdown pass has a way of thawing out the sidelines in a hurry.
And Angelo Lujan just going to take it out of bounds at the 39-yard or the 29-yard line, excuse me. So the Rams will go back to work. Well, Easton Brewer has thrown an interception now in 3 straight games. but he's only thrown 3 interceptions all season. But
well, statistically, that means he's not going to throw another one until when he's playing somewhere in college next year, because there's not enough time to wait for the 4th. But for the first time tonight, when Eldorado really needs it, they need a 3 and out in the worst way. And they probably are back in business if they can figure out a way to close this thing down. And I think they're going to have to take some chances. Looks like we got a few folks coming out. Nope, not really.
Here's a handoff across the 30 up to the 32-yard line, Matt Jackson.
And if I'm Easton and I'm Rio Rancho, we're 10 minutes and 48 seconds into the 4th quarter. They're going to try to find a way to run some clock and get some first downs, because they're clearly a pass first, run second offense. But right now it's all about first downs for Rio Rancho.
3 wideouts on the far side for Bruer. Lujan in the backfield with him. Brady Patterson on the near side. Bruer has one-on-one coverage, fires it, it's caught, and racing across the 30, all the way in, touchdown, Miguel Barreras.
Well, they sold everybody, including me, on running up the middle, and no worries there. Just another Easton touchdown.
It's a track meet right now.
It is. That was a time-consuming drive. What is that? Steve Davis is not keeping track of it. Was it a 20-second drive or something? Actually, they had a run play, so it was probably a 30-second drive.
There you go, more like 30. And Miguel Barreras.
And now we have to wonder if there's
another
enough
touchdown
juice behind that scoreboard to keep putting these numbers up. And this young man is definitely going to have a sore toe. He just keeps kicking and
Finnegan is up and through, so the answer by the Rams will step aside. You're watching New Sports Network, powered by ProView Networks.
Mr. Goldman loved his family a lot, didn't he, Dad?
He sure did.
That's why he had State Farm life insurance, like you. So his family never has to worry, right?
Mr. Goldman didn't have life insurance.
Why not?
He's just a goldfish.
Ignore him.
In Albuquerque, call Agent Marty Size and Agent Michelle Bermudez so your family won't have to worry about having life insurance.
We put the life back in life insurance.
Touchdowns.
U Sports Network, powered by ProView Networks. The 6A semifinals. A shootout, but in the wrong way for Eldorado. They're trading touchdowns right now. Rams score again as Miguel Barreras with a 68-yard touchdown catch and run. The Rams back on the board. It's the 4th touchdown toss from Easton Bruer tonight. This fumbled by Caleb Amber into the end zone. It's a touchback.
Well, if nothing else, it's been entertaining. A lot of points, the exact opposite of the game that's already been over for quite a while on the other side of town at Wilson. Not any of this smash mouth. This is a big-time finesse game. Not a huge amount of running, or at least not now. But again, not having access to the stats, but Rio Rancho's been a pass-first team tonight, very successfully, I might add. And again, this is probably a 3-hour high school football game, which is very unusual.
Gentry back to toss, and it's caught. It's David Inman. Inman is spun around after he picks up close to a first down. Little chippiness out there. You haven't seen much of that, actually, fight from both sides.
It's really been a well-played game. It has. We haven't seen cheap shots, very little chippiness at all. We just now what we're watching is a desperate Eldorado team to try to figure out again how to come up with a touchdown and then hold on from there.
Gentry is looking, and he's going to fire. Well, he's got his
got
man
him.
Over the top. It's caught. Across the 25-yard line, Craig Buzzard.
Well, in this pinball football game, is all I'll call it. Nice tackle where Buzzard scores on that play. And we got somebody laying down. Somebody's down back there for Eldorado.
It's one of the Eldorado linemen, I believe.
Yep. So let's hope that's not anything serious.
How about that strike from Gentry? I mean, that was placed right on stride to Craig Buzzard, and he was falling back, being sacked.
Into probably what's a 10 or 12 mile an hour breeze, and it was just a dart. And Buzzard was open, but not that open. He had maybe a step and a half, so the ball really had to be there, and it was.
From Zach Gentry to number 21.
And you really just need a calculator and a seat belt to stay in this game, because it's just back and forth, big plays. It's the exact opposite of the game. If we saw the stats from the La Cueva game, it was probably just an awful lot of smash mouth football played over there, but tonight it's all in the air here.
Well, the Eldorado Eagle injured is up and gingerly walking away, so that's always good to see. With 9:51 to play here in the fourth quarter, I just have a feeling we have a lot more scoring to watch.
Well, I can tell you the people on that side of the stadium are really betting on you. They're hoping you're right. Because the only way this is going to turn out for Eldorado is they need a bunch of points in a hurry. And if you're Rio Rancho, you're just probably, I don't know where you are if you're Rio Rancho. You're wanting this clock to speed up, but yet you're not running the ball. You're leaving Eldorado in the game clockwise.
Well, Gentry empty backfield on 1st down and 10. Has Zach May and
nobody
rolls
open.
out, fires,
Wow.
and it's caught, but it's incomplete, out of bounds.
Just nobody open.
Caleb
really.
Amber.
He put it where it could be for Caleb to bring it in, and actually I think he did catch it out of bounds, but just not a play that was going to work. Once again, we've been talking about, I feel like we've done 2 games. This thing's going on so long, but we're still in 4. You're still in 4-down territory if you're in the white jerseys. Now we're on the left hash, 2nd and 10, 3 downs to get 10 yards. But more importantly,
4-down territory, no doubt about it, as Gentry's going to send Craig Buzzard in motion, and he'll keep it. Gentry makes a move across the 20 and falls forward to about the 16-yard line, 16.5-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down.
Tackled by number.
Well, Eldorado's taking more time on their possessions than the Rams are.
Absolutely. We're closing in on 9 minutes with 3 touchdowns needed for the Eldorado Eagles to be in the game at the end.
Well, Gentry will look to toss it, fires, and it's incomplete. It was broken up nicely done by the touchdown score of the last drive. Miguel Barreras got a hand in there.
Really wasn't much there. Probably lucky it wasn't picked off. But we got one of his fan favorites, number 24, over here in the flat with one-on-one coverage, and I have to guess he's going to try to find him here pretty quick.
Zach May injured on the play, and he'll skip off the field. Looks to be okay.
So it could be Sandoval time.
4th down and 4. The Ram fans on their feet, looking for one stop that would probably end it.
For all this football that we've watched, this is just Eldorado's 2nd 4th down, right?
Right.
That I can remember. None more critical than this. I don't care how many there have been, but this is a must convert.
Out of the pistol, it's Gentry on 4th down and 4. He's under some pressure. Gentry going to throw it, and it's incomplete. It was intercepted out of bounds, but on 4th down, it's a turnover on downs.
Just nobody there. Great coverage by Rio Rancho. Pass completed to the wrong guy, out of bounds.
He had no one open. That was a coverage. I mean,
absolutely
nowhere to go with that.
This is a real fine defensive effort by the Rams tonight. I mean, we've talked so much about Easton and how well he's managed the game and how well he's played, but this defense has given up a handful of big plays to Eldorado, but everybody gives up big plays to an Eldorado offense like this, but this defense is stingy when they need to be, and that takes an awful lot of oxygen out of the Eldorado bunch. That's a turnover that they just couldn't have.
Well, Bruere, maybe they'll try to run it a little bit and take some time. That's Lujan. Makes a nice move up to the 29-yard line. That's a 1st down.
Don't you just have to be exhausted if you're an Eldorado defensive player right now? I mean,
probably exhausted if you're an offensive player for the Rams, how many plays they've run.
It's amazing what scoring touchdowns, how much adrenaline that creates. And these Rio Rancho players are not going to have any trouble sleeping tonight, but none of them are tired right now because they're just playing so well and they're so full of energy, knowing that if they get the next in real time, 15 or 20 minutes right, that they're playing for all the marbles next week. So they're playing optimistic.
Bruere will throw it to the outside. And across the 35-yard line, a nice pickup of 7 is Marky Alvarado.
And he's definitely going to need some ice on that shoulder. I don't care how tough he is. Boy, he's throwing a bunch of them tonight.
Well, he's tossed it a ton.
And what is his completion percentage? It's got to be in the 80s, doesn't it? I mean, it's just got to be nuts. It's got to be so high. Oh, yeah, it's just incredible.
Minimum 75.
Really, really plays well within himself. Doesn't try to make too many. And the few incompletions he has had have been throwaways.
Well, look at this. Angelo Lujan has a stiff arm and gets to the outside. And cuts it back across the 50.
Smart ball player cuts it back inside. They're going to just keep the tick-tock going. They'll stop it here for just a second to reset the chains and then start it again. And that's just what the Rio Rancho fans have ordered is let's just go ahead and keep the ball away from Eldorado and shorten this thing up and get it into the barn.
Well, this state high has witnessed one of the best athletes probably to come out of this state in Zach Gentry as his moments are winding down. These could be his final moments as a high school football athlete, at least here.
Sure appears to be.
It just needs to be said of it, what a decorated career he's had.
Just phenomenal. And then we look at somebody that's been overlooked by obviously several colleges at a minimum. Number 2, Easton for Rio Rancho, who's a nice-sized kid, got a really big arm and a high football IQ, and I suspect just a high IQ in general, who has just played and managed the game really, really well. Because as I said earlier, this is a very good Eldorado football team, and Rio Rancho has just flat handled them.
No gain by Matt Jackson on first down from the 48-yard line, so it'll be 2nd down and 10. The clock ticking away now with 6:43. This is the longest drive I think the Rams have had. It's only been a couple minutes.
I think they've actually run maybe for the 3rd time. And just what the Rio Rancho doctor ordered. Run kind of up the gut. Looks like they got about 3, almost 4. 3. So we're probably going to see that one again. But the clock really running now. Rio Rancho's not typically doesn't run clock, but they are in this drive. And we're going to be down under 6 minutes by the time this play's over.
3rd down. 7 to work with here for the Rams. Matt Jackson and Angelo Lujan in the backfield with 2 wideouts on the near side. One on the top of your screen as Bruer's looking to toss it. He's going to fire a fade route. I don't know about that. Stops the clock. And it's punting time here for the Rams.
Nope, everybody's kind of scratching their head on that one.
Down for the Rams.
But as we said before, Rio Rancho really knows who they are, and they play to their strengths, and their strengths are give it to number 2 and let him throw it to somebody. And he does that quite well.
Well, if the Eldorado Eagles were to come back, get 3 scores here in the final just under 6 minutes, it would probably be one of the most dramatic comebacks in the state's history.
Yes, indeed.
The Rams will punt away, and it took a while to get the punt off.
Well, we had a rugby-style punt, and we're all shocked because we can't remember whether Rio Rancho has rugby punting on purpose because they've just not punted. But that punter took a lick right there. He waited just a little bit too long, and he took a hard hit, but he got a good punt away nonetheless.
Bounces into the end zone, so it'll be a touchback, and Gentry and crew will come onto the field. Nothing to do but hope for a quick touchdown or an onside kick.
Well, we all knew that Rio Rancho had a big-time offense, that they had great skill and speed at the positions where they needed them, but I don't think anybody knew that they were going to be able to throw 57 up tonight. That's a bunch of points.
Gentry fires, and it's complete, and it's lost. I think out of bounds, or was he down?
I think he's probably down. No, actually, are they calling an incomplete pass?
Raylan Garza was down, so it is a catch.
Okay.
Move the chains. No fumble. The Eagles keep the ball.
This definitely has the feeling of a formality drive now, maybe kind of a feel good. I talk about it the last several weeks, but again, if this is the way it ends up, Eldorado's had a great year. Certainly doesn't have to apologize for what they've done tonight, and we have to all keep in mind that half of these players one whole team, this is it for them. They'll not play football, and many of these young men that are seniors may not ever put the pads on ever again, and that runs through to the band, to the cheerleaders, to the parents, to the neighbors, to some of the extended family watching on the stream tonight, and it's always difficult to address the finality when you get to the end, and Eldorado is knocking on the door.
Rams have really done a good job stopping Zach Gentry's run. Look at that stick at the middle. Brady Patterson absolutely hammers.
Good pattern, good catch, good pass, and then he just hammered him. And he's a little slow in coming to here.
Well, Halton is down. Probably got the wind knocked out of him as Patterson came in with the shoulder. Timed it perfectly.
Definitely took a hit there.
Why? Let's pretend it's safe to say that we can look ahead a little bit.
No, if Don Meredith were here, he would be doing that turn out the lights thing. The party's over, and my voice is too hoarse to give you my version of that this week. Maybe we'll try that next week. But, yeah, I don't think we're too premature in looking forward to what's going to happen next week.
So
for starters,
the
is that
story
a Friday
Mayfield
or a Saturday game?
We don't know yet.
Okay.
We don't know yet. And any word we get, we'll obviously display it to everyone as we can. But the Rio Rancho Rams will host Mayfield next week, either Friday night or Saturday afternoon. But either way, the 5A state title will be coming here.
Well, I don't think
6A state title, sorry.
Everybody that's in the know knew that Rio Rancho is a really good football team, and there's a reason why they haven't lost a game coming into tonight, but I don't think anybody expected a game of this dominance by Rio Rancho, because they have really flexed tonight and have been, as I said too many times already, near flawless just all over the field.
Well, Gentry's looking to throw, fires, and a little bit behind Zach May, incomplete. It'll be
that Zach to Zach pass usually works, and as you said, that one was a little bit behind him, and so we got Charlie's out on the field. Are we going to have an Eldorado timeout, or what are we doing here?
They have all three of them left with 4:40 on the clock here.
Yeah,
it's
no reason to call a
8.
timeout.
Yeah.
They'll save those. Charlie will coach right through this.
So 4th down and 8. Maybe Eldorado's last leg if they have one.
Last 4th down and 6 was a touchdown, so let's see what he dials up here. Got a little room.
Gentry rolling out. He'll fire.
Oh,
He's got a man open, and it's picked off. Intercepted by Brady Patterson. He had to turn his body. He had his guy, but just couldn't put the mustard on it.
Physically had no chance to get enough mustard. All right. So it sounds like the game may be next Saturday afternoon?
Maybe. That's what we're hearing. Not official. Saturday at 1, but unofficial.
As this is not even official yet, with 4 minutes and 27 seconds to go. Rio Rancho once again possessing the ball, going to try to shorten the game up and get it over with. And now we're starting to see some of the Rio Rancho faithful start to head for the exits. So they're feeling pretty good about it, as they should.
Well, Gentry walks off the field. No doubt he won't like the outcome of this, but what a fantastic athlete he is. He's got better football games he'll be playing in. We know that.
Yeah, there'll be some kids that'll go on to great things. Some will continue to play football, but rest assured Zach Gentry is going to play in the Burnt Orange next year.
I don't know how many yards Angelo Lujan has had tonight, but there is a ton more across the 40-yard line.
That's another 35, I think, something. It's just almost too many to count. I can't even begin to guess how many yards Rio Rancho has tonight. What are they, in the 500 range, probably? Maybe more. Probably more?
Yeah, I think more.
Yeah, probably. Crazy. Steve Davis dumped us. He had a timer, and he ran out of time, so he dumped us. So he and Tom Dragmeister, they're in a different world by now.
We can handle ourselves with 4:19 to play here in the fourth quarter. And now fans starting to make their way to the exits as this pitch to Matt Jackson to the outside, and he's lost about a yard on the play back to the 41.
Eldorado playing through it all the way to the end, still hitting hard. Been a well-played game. It just has too much Rio Rancho, too much everywhere. Too much Rio Rancho defense, offense, special teams. Kicker's done a great job. And I don't have access to the stats, but was that the only punt they've had tonight, the rugby punt? I think that might have been
a couple times.
Did they?
It's been the second punt now.
All right, it was so long ago. Who remembers?
Sure.
I would have
quarter.
to be much younger than I am to remember that far back.
3:38, and the Rams clearly trying to eat that clock now. So Bruer will fire it. It's complete. Still passing it. Oh, it was ripped out, and Caleb Amberg but down.
The White Hat's saying it's a no-go. Forward progress was stopped, so the strip is not going to count. But again, Eldorado, give them credit for playing through it all. These are really difficult games to play through.
A stat, our good friend James Yotis from Albuquerque.
Yes.
700, before that last play, 789 yards, so add 3 more to it.
Well, that's a record.
92 yards of offense.
That's a record for these eyes to have seen, I'll tell you that.
Offsides.
Penalty flag on the field.
Well, that's got to be some sort of a 6-8 record, right?
Eldorado.
Curious.
By a bunch. James Yotis will probably tell us that when we open up the newspaper tomorrow morning. But they're still not finished. You know, they're going to add. They're going to break into the 800 range here shortly.
They'll face a 3rd down and 2, and all that's left is the ticks on the clock. But the Rams season not over yet, as they'll face the Mayfield Trojans next week. Here's the handoff to Matt Jackson. Turns the corner, a lot of speed ahead, and watch out. He's in, touchdown.
That's 800 and something, right?
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I've never seen that at any level. I mean, the Wisconsin guy the other day in grown-up college football runs for 4-something. The next week somebody runs for 400 plus some. But at the high school level, in 48 minutes of football,
well, in a state semifinals,
it just doesn't pencil. In 45 and a half minutes of football, they have 800 yards offense, 63 points, soon to be 64. I've never seen anything like it. And as we talked
the extra
about,
point is up and through high, so we'll be back in just a second. It's all Rams, though, over the Eldorado Eagles. You're watching News Sports Network, powered by Pro Networks.
Eldorado 35.
She's not the judge. She's not the jury. She's Donna Bale, expert bail agent for over 17 years, posting bail bonds throughout the U.S. Donna Bale will never fail to get you out of jail. Open 24/7. Call Donna at 505-203-4711. That's 505-203-4711. Donna Bale will get your loved ones home where they belong.
Donna Bale, call me and I'll set you free.
We welcome you back to Rio Rancho High School. This is the state 6A semifinals. That is the correct score, 64-35, Rio Rancho. Matt Jackson just put a 30-yard touchdown in with 2:23 to play. Adam Deal along with Hy Roberts.
Adam, you won't have hurt feelings if I leave the booth early and go down and bring John Finnegan some ice, because after that kick, he's got to have a sore toe.
He's got a ton of points tonight.
He does. A job well done. And again, not to be corny, it's been a well-played game. Just too much Rio Rancho everywhere. Just too many green jerseys everywhere.
The Rams, again, will keep saying it high, will host Mayfield, who defeated La Cueva in the other semifinal 24-20 with a Kavika Johnson touchdown with 1 minute left. And that's how Mayfield did it.
Had to have been a hard-fought game over there, and you wonder how much they have left in the tank. Because Rio Rancho has not been under pressure in real time. This game is now about 3 hours old, and Rio Rancho has not been under pressure for over half of it.
Zach May with the completion, a Rio Rancho Ram down on the field. Well, look, Hy, we've seen Mayfield play. We know how good their quarterback Kavika Johnson is and how much of a running threat they are. We've seen Rio Rancho's defense tonight against the run pretty solid, against the pass even more solid. It's going to be an interesting matchup.
Could be a major contrast between the two teams, and whose will is going to come out in the end. Mayfield very powerful, very physical, and Rio Rancho has had some physicality that I certainly was not aware that they had. But then again, at the skill positions, they are just so quick that the Eldorado defenders have just really had trouble finding the angles. They looked early like missed tackles, but it kept happening and happening, and I think it's just because the Rio Rancho running backs and wideouts were just so much faster than they looked that there was just not an angle to be found.
The Mayfield Trojans are a storied franchise. Storied. And I say franchise, but obviously high school. Okay, they've won a lot of state championships under Coach Bradley. The Rio Rancho Rams High, after tonight, it'll be their first trip to the state championship ever in school history since their opening in 1999.
Well, they're not going to have any trouble swaggering into this joint next weekend. They've played well. They've earned it. They're a big-time high school 6A New Mexico football team, and they have been dominant tonight, that's for sure.
Gentry's toss on the money up to the 40-yard line. Zach May's had a busy night.
Tackled on the play by number 15, Santiago Salazar.
Well, I would, for some athletes, you know, when football season ends, that just means it's time for basketball season.
Well, I think
a lot of these Eldorado Eagles play some hoops.
Number 11 is certainly one of the better
toss
hoopsters in the
to
state.
Inman,
Nice
and it's
pass.
caught.
Get
Inman
in there.
Still on his feet.
Got to pull
rolling
for all
up
of
to
them
the
now.
5-yard line.
Nice job. Nice play. No quit on either side of the ball. Defender rode him all the way down the sideline. Inman determined to get one more in the blue zone this year. And again, it's just there's been so much offense in this game. I don't even know where to start. I mean, Eldorado is. It's not like Eldorado forgot to show up. They're about to be in the 40s here if they get this right. And that's normally a lot of points. Normally enough points to win a game, and there is.
Gentry fires to Zach May. It's a touchdown with $1:28 to play here. So
Eldorado's got 41 on the board with another point or two looming in a blowout. And normally you don't get blown out when you put 40-something on the board, but tonight they have.
Well, Gentry's stats won't be terrible at the end of this night.
Well, no. If you just read the stats, you could certainly convince yourself that Eldorado probably beat somebody.
Going for two, Gentry fires. That's complete. So Inman catches it, makes it 64-41. $1:28 to play. We'll step aside. You're watching News Sports Network, powered by Proven Networks.
Makes the score now. Rio Rancho 64, Eldorado 43.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
Sports Network, powered by Provia Network, 6A semifinal. Well, we wanted a lot closer of a game, It's been Rams virtually the whole way. Eldorado took the kickoff in the first quarter all the way up the field. They scored in 2 minutes and 10 seconds. That was the last lead they had.
It's hard to believe that was actually in this game, but it was just so long ago, and it was such a great opening drive, and then since then it's just
a really good
pretty
onside
much,
kick.
Oh, and they finally got it. I shouldn't say finally because they've only really threatened to have a number of those, but they finally did kick one.
Rio Rancho put a couple of guys on the outside like they weren't expecting it, but it is Eldorado.
Looked to me like Eldorado. Yeah, it's okay. So
no, Rio Rancho. Now they're saying Rio Rancho.
All right. Well, we got 40 guys walking around on the field. Nobody for sure knows who's going to stay and who's going to go.
First down, Rio Rancho.
Eagles saying, how can that be possible?
Okay. So now, not with a great deal of certainty, Rio Rancho may actually run the ball.
Well, I don't know.
You never know. We might get a kneel out of this. Don't need any more sore muscles. Don't need any more pulled muscles. A job well done by the Rams. And the game that seems like it's never going to end is actually close to ending. Coming out of the shotgun, he's going to run around for a while, I guess. Nope, just going to hand it off and let somebody else hit him.
Straight through is, once again, Angelo Lujan. No, excuse me, that's...
Hopefully it's somebody that's not
Elijah
even in the program.
Goodwin and Easton Brewer not even in.
Good.
I should mention. So Dakota Carrasco, the sophomore quarterback, at 6'4".
Well, he looks all of 6'4" from here.
Yeah, it's a big boy.
Sophomore?
Sophomore quarterback, Dakota Carrasco.
Well, turn him loose, Coach. Now
Under a minute left, brought to you by Minutemen Design Center. Minutemen, they get the job done. And yeah, we'll say it. The Rio Rancho Rams got the job done tonight. Carrasco going to throw it, and it was incomplete. So stops the clock with 40 seconds. And I guess just trying to get their younger guys in and get them some semifinal action.
Can't blame him. If I'm a sophomore quarterback playing behind that guy, you finally put me in the game, I'm doing it all.
Yep.
I'm going to run. I'm going to pass. I'm going to enjoy it.
It'll be third down with 40 seconds on the clock. We'll remind you this last minute brought to you by Minutemen Design Center. Call J.C. Lopez at 505-507-4213. Here's the handoff. And not much, a few yards forward for Elijah Goodwin.
And I think that'll do it. They haven't wound the clock, so that'll take care of it.
The clock is now wound, and the Rams can just sit on this. They'll celebrate it. Final score, 64-43. All Rams high. What do you think? The Rams are the real deal.
Totally. 12-0 for a reason. No accidents tonight. They just played really well. Take nothing away from Eldorado, because Eldorado, I do not truly believe, played poorly. I think there was some execution that lacked on the offensive side of the ball, but the Rio Rancho offense is just too much for the Eldorado defense. Just too much offense. Big time high school football game.
Now let's quickly look ahead. Mayfield, Rio Rancho. The early word is 1 o'clock Saturday. We'll have it for you on the NFHSnetwork.com, a live broadcast for you solely. What a state championship that would present.
Well, will be a game worth watching. Two great teams. In fact, the seeds all the way through by the NMAA have pretty well run true to form. And this Rio Rancho bunch is they're for real. No accidents here. As we see the end of the careers for the Eldorado football players, and as you alluded to earlier, the end of just a record-breaking career for Zach Gentry. And while this is the last game he'll play in this calendar year, there's a lot more football that New Mexico football fans are going to get to watch played by him.
A lot more, and we wish him, obviously, the best of luck. And what a year for Coach Dotson. When we have to say Charlie Dotson gets his team to the semifinals. This is the second time that Gentry has reached the semifinals, and Dotson together. It was back when he was a sophomore 2 years ago in a loss to the eventual champions, the Las Cruces Bulldogs.
Well, you're seeing the end of an Eldorado and a Dotson Gentry era for sure. You're going to see Eldorado run a completely different offense next year, and I'll let Coach Dotson share that, but he has shared that there's going to be some significant changes as he moves forward. He already has the pieces to the puzzle selected on who's going to be the orchestra leader for that offense, but things are going to be different. And when you lose a player the magnitude and the quality of a Zach Gentry to graduation, those shoes are typically too big for somebody else to step into, so they're just going to change offenses.
Coach Howe's having a word with Zach Gentry, and that's a special moment when a coach takes that long to tell him. And Brady Patterson and Gentry will have a quick word. Congratulations to him, but especially congratulations to the Rio Rancho Rams as they get it done. A little celebration for the Rams, if you will.
Yeah, little post-game calisthenics, and most of the Rio Rancho fans have gone, but there's a few, mostly moms and dads, I think, still here. But all I can say is it was a wow game for the Rams. They just played really, really well. No accident that they won this game or the other 11 before tonight as well as they played.
Well, Zach Gentry and crew couldn't get it done tonight. The Rio Rancho Rams do. We urge you to watch U Sports Central on Channel 26. And brought to you by ProView Networks every day, 5:30. We'll break down the state championships coming next Friday and Saturday throughout the week. For the entire ProView Network crew here, Joe Abeda directing tonight, and for Hi Roberts, we thank you for joining. It's all Rams. They get by to take on the Mayfield Trojans in the 6A state championship next week. We say so long from Rio Rancho High School. You're watching U Sports Network, powered by ProView Networks.